Could the Bible be hinting at a completely new earth and heavens? Join me as I dive deep into the Bible and challenge myself to uncover whether it really predicts a new earth and heavens. The concept of a new earth and heavens is one that has fascinated many, and for good reason. It's a biblical idea that sparks the imagination and raises important questions about our future and the nature of God's plan for humanity. One of the most common misconceptions surrounding biblical prophecies related to the earth and heavens is that they're all about doom and gloom, and that the Bible is simply predicting a catastrophic end to our world. But is that really the case? In reality, many biblical scholars and theologians believe that these prophecies are actually pointing to something much more hopeful and exciting, the possibility of a new creation. Another misconception is that biblical prophecies are cryptic and impossible to understand, and that we should just focus on living good lives rather than worrying about the future. But the Bible itself emphasizes the importance of understanding prophecy and being prepared for what's to come. And when we take a closer look at the biblical text, we can start to uncover some amazing insights that shed light on the nature of God's plan for humanity. Some people might say that the Bible is just a collection of ancient stories and myths, and that we shouldn't take its prophecies seriously. But for millions of people around the world, the Bible is a sacred text that contains profound wisdom and truth. And when we approach its prophecies with an open mind and a willingness to learn, we can discover some incredible things. In the book of Isaiah, we find a passage that says, "Behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor..." This verse suggests that God is not just going to restore the earth to its original state, but is actually going to create something entirely new and different. And when we combine this with other passages that talk about the redemption of creation and the ultimate triumph of God over evil, we start to get a picture of a future that's truly breathtaking. The Apostle Peter writes that God is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness, but is patient with us, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. This passage highlights the idea that God's delays are not because he's unable to act, but because he's giving us time to turn back to him and receive his gift of salvation. And when we apply this to the idea of a new earth and heavens, we can start to see that God's plan is not just about judgment, but about redemption and restoration. One of the most compelling interpretations of biblical prophecy is that the new earth and heavens are not just physical realities, but also spiritual ones. This means that the Bible is pointing to a future where not only is the physical world transformed, but also our very selves, our minds, our hearts, our spirits. And when we start to grasp the magnitude of this transformation, we can begin to see why the Bible's prophecies are so relevant and important for us today. Theologian and scholar N.T. Wright has argued that the Bible's vision of a new creation is not just about a distant future, but about the present moment too. According to Wright, the resurrection of Jesus is not just an event that happened in the past, but also a promise of what's to come. A new creation that's already begun, and that we can experience in part today. This perspective highlights the idea that the Bible's prophecies are not just about predicting the future, but about living in the present with hope and purpose. One of the most significant implications of the Bible's prediction of a new earth and heavens is that it challenges us to rethink our priorities and values. If we believe that God is going to create a new world where there's no more suffering, no more pain, and no more death, then shouldn't that shape the way we live our lives now? Shouldn't we be working towards creating a world that reflects God's values of love, justice, and compassion? In conclusion, the Bible's prediction of a new earth and heavens is a theme that's full of wonder, hope, and excitement. It's an idea that challenges us to think differently about the future and to re-examine our priorities and values in the present. And whether you're a believer or a skeptic, I hope this video has inspired you to explore these ideas further and to discover the incredible riches of the biblical text for yourself. Thanks for watching, and if you've got thoughts on the Bible's predictions of a new earth and heavens, be sure to share them in the comments below. And if you want to explore more biblical themes and ideas, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be diving into another fascinating topic.